So we continue our contemplations on the Ashtavakra Gita with the beginning of chapter 13. Chapter 13 is called Happiness. Can we close this door? Janaka said, the tranquil state of knowing self alone is rare, even among those who own but a lion claws. The tranquil state of knowing self alone is rare, even among those who own but a lion claws. I, therefore, neither renounce nor accept, and am happy. It's a rare discovery, what we are talking about. Not because it is difficult. Truly, it is not difficult. If there is openness, it is not difficult. If there is not openness, then it is impossible. Openness means what? Openness means this sliver where the intuitive presence can get a foothold in the door, you see. If we are convinced that what we know already is true, if we are convinced that our mental knowledge is meaningful in the discovery of the self, if we are convinced that this mind, which poses as if it is our true master actually, if we are convinced that this mind posing as the master is the voice of truth, then in our play at this time, we are not open yet to the voice of the presence, to your own intuitive presence. But if in you there is a sign of outgrowing this mind, if there is a sense that there must be something beyond what this mind is telling me, if there is an openness to accept that all our investment in these phenomenal concepts really will not bring us this liberation, recognition, freedom that we are looking for. Simply put, if there is a little bit of I don't know in you, then there is room for the Sadguru. But if it is about scriptural knowledge, worldly knowledge, any sort of mental knowledge, conceptual knowledge, perceptual knowledge, and even your coming to satsang has been misunderstood by you as a way to collect the best sort of knowledge instead of the means to be rid of this conditioning. Then whether you wear a lion cloth and you're sitting in a cave, or you are a householder with 5 businesses to manage, it doesn't make any difference. Whether you're a sadhu or somebody completely occupied in worldly affairs, if the basis for both these, if the basis for your existence seems to you is some sort of a individual me, then this external play of sadhuness does not matter. So why is it rare? Because this openness is rare. If the openness is there and you come to satsang, then it is bound to be that you will discover this truth so simply, because it is undeniable actually what is being pointed to in satsang. It is only your prior knowledge which seems to get in the way. In India also, it's famous that many of the learned people who learned a lot of the scriptures then spend most of their time arguing about what they know is better than what the other one knows. I picked up the best knowledge, therefore I'm the biggest or the best, most enlightened. That's why Janaka said the tranquil state of knowing the self alone is rare, even among those who own but a lion cloth. I therefore neither renounce nor accept, and am happy. So we've seen that, just like we were saying, that to become a sadhu is not necessary. I don't need to renounce the world. Because even those that I see who have renounced the world are not tranquil, have not come to this recognition of their truth, of knowing self alone. Means Advaita. There are no two, there is only the self. That is the recognition that we are coming to. Only the self is. Just this discovery, this recognition is what is being provoked, what is being invited every satsang. So you don't need to be concerned about this outward movement. Should I renounce the world? Should I not renounce the world? No. You renounce identity. You renounce your belief in the next thought, identification with this non-entity called the ego. This much is enough. Then in your outer play, whether sadhu life happens, or householder life happens, or businessman life happens, that is of no concern really. Because no matter what this play of consciousness is outwardly, you have recognized that there is only one self, and all is this, and this alone. That is why Advaita is not two. The body is trained by practices. The tongue tires of scripture. The mind numbs with meditation. The body is trained by practices. The tongue tires of scripture. The mind numbs with meditation. Detached from all this, I live as I am. And most of you who've been in these sessions from the beginning know what the sage is talking about. He's not expressing, although it might sound like he's expressing an aversion towards meditation or some practices. What he's saying is that once you recognize what you are, you see that you have outgrown this play of practices. Why? Because even in spiritual practice can be embedded the identity of the practitioner and the attainer of something, or the expectation that something should happen as a result of my practice. So, although it might sound like he's putting down meditation, he's actually putting down the meditator identity. The seeker identity takes all of these forms. What he's basically saying is that you don't need to be anything more than what you are already. You don't need to move an inch. Before you decide to start, you are that. Before you decide to look, you are that. Before you start your practice, you are that. During the practice, you are that. And after the practice, you are still that. If something is missing right now, if you feel like some experience must complete myself, then know that this is just a trick from the mind. Only the self is, and it is forever complete, beyond the concept of completion. What did the sage say earlier? Your only bondage is not seeing this. I would like to even go a step further and say your only bondage is the pretense that this is not true already. The belief that you have to become something to become the self. Sometimes I jokingly ask all of you, if you're looking for the self, are you sure first that you lost it? And he says, for 10 lifetimes, I have just meditated because I want self-realization. So, did, in the 11th lifetime before this, did you lose the self somewhere? And now you're looking for it. You want to find the self. Where to go to find the self? Has anyone said that I was just here and there it was, sitting on the carpet, the self? I was drinking the coconut, and in the coconut water, there it was, the self. What has the discovery always been? I always was that. What was I looking for? I have only been this. That's why the great Indian saint Sant Kabir actually he said that पानी में मीन प्यासी मुहे देखत आए हांसी, which means the fish is thirsty in the water. And seeing this, I laugh. But this looking for the self is even beyond this fish thirsting for water. It is the water thirsting for water. If for one moment we drop our allegiance to what the mind is saying, and you see what you are right now, who who feels who feels they miss it? Who can say I looked and I did not buy a concept from the mind, and just in my looking, I don't find it. Those can come up. If you don't find yourself, then you come up. In your looking, how many feel like that, firstly? How many feel? When you look, you don't find yourself? Don't feel afraid of peer pressure. You can say. So, am I then, because I don't see any hands, am I then to presume that in this moment, when you look, you see that it's only the self? There is just the self. Maybe some of you are shy, so I'll give you some clues. Maybe some of you might be actually thinking that, oh, actually, I don't find the self, but I'm 1 in 25 or something like that. So let me not take on the shame of being the only one not finding the self. So, in fact, there are many clues now. How many clues there are now? 15? 11? And Paul is sent some. Quite a few. All these clues are pointing to that. So, first, don't expect to find something which is an object. Okay. So, what you have to say is, messages are coming. Yes, yes, see the self. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Because the see the self can sound like it is an objective seeing. That means I see an object and then I can confirm, yes, I see the self. But this seeing, what is Guruji said? The only non-phenomenal experience. Now, what is the only non-phenomenal experience you had? Can you tell me about something you experienced which is not phenomenal? Sleep. Sleep. Very good. So you experience sleep. There is no phenomena there. You are there or no? Yeah, that's slowly. So you experience sleep. So then you say, no phenomena is there. Even I am not there. Then who experienced sleep?
Nobody but myself.
Nobody but yourself. This is a beautiful clue. Even when all phenomena are gone, you witness that all phenomena are gone. You are aware of the absence of phenomena just as you are aware of the presence of phenomena. So this seeing is different from the phenomenal seeing. This knowing is different from phenomenal knowing. And yet, even if these words sound complex, I just ask you if you are aware. Are you aware now? So if you're aware now, I can tell you that most likely, unless the mind is conjuring up an image of awareness, you are experiencing your non-phenomenal seeing, on the basis of which then in the play of consciousness you are reporting yes. Can there be a clue more direct than this? Now some of you will have trouble with this clue because you will try to understand it. You will try to contain it in a conceptual framework, which is not going to happen. Where did this awareness come from? Does this also have a birth? Does this have a source? Does this come and go? Does it have a quality? Does it have a shape? Does it have a size? Could it be that this qualityless, unborn one is what my true self is? How many of us are open to this possibility at least? You see, if you're open to at least this being a possibility that you are not a thing, you're beyond all things, beyond all qualities and attributes, then it's going to be very simple. But if your idea of enlightenment is just that you will become another man or woman and remain a thing, a very enlightened thing, a thing with a halo, you see, then we are going to have long relationship. You see, we're going to have a long relationship. This openness. Could it be possible that I'm not a noun? I'm not even actually a verb, but I'm more of a verb than a noun. I'm more of a seeing than a thing. Could it be this? Really, could it? You're not a thing at all. See? So when we say you are not the person, this is what it means. Can we taste our non-personness for just one moment? Wherever your idea of what you are is stuck, find out who witnesses that. So if your idea of what you are is stuck on the body, find out who witnesses the sensations of the body. And don't apply a mental answer. Go with your insight. If your idea of what you are is stuck with the mind, then find out who witnesses these thoughts. If your idea of what you are is stuck with a particular emotion, find out what witnesses even that. then maybe like Ashtavakra, you could say so simply that I am the shoreless ocean in which the arcs of this universe, they come and go, but I remain untouched, unaffected. As long as you consider yourself to be an object within this universe, can you truly call yourself the ocean? That's why all these clues are so useful. What is going to last forever? What does not come and go? The sage has said that reality must be that which is our own insight and it does not come and go. And if it does not come and go, where must it be now? Reality, where must it be? That which does not come and go. Is it possible that it is not here now? If it never comes and goes, is it possible that you have to run towards it? You have to grab it, go for it? Or is that it, the basis for even the appearance of the one who wants to grab something? What is the basis for you? Where do you come from? Where will you go? Can you go and show me? Wherever you go, you will find only the self. Nobody can run from this truth. How will you escape yourself? Only in ideas. That's why I usually advise the opposite. Instead of trying to find the self, you try to lose the self. Instead of trying to find your being, try to stop being. Just don't be. Okay, at least um, don't be aware that you are. Just don't be aware that you are. Then we'll look for the self. Together we'll. Let's lose it first, no? Then we'll look. Who was able to do it?
Seems so simple and all of that. That seems so foolish.
Yes, yes. Stop there. Stay with that. He says, it seems so simple and all this effort seems so foolish. That's exactly what the sage is saying. He's saying, The body is trained by practices. The tongue tires of scripture. The mind numbs with meditation. Detached from all this, I live as I am. The fish in the water thirsting for water. The water itself looking for itself, trying to quench its thirst. Often, not often, recently I started saying that if a grape came to you, huh, if a grape came to you and it was convinced that it is an orange, you tell me what you would say to that orange or grape, huh? And your words will sound exactly like the words in Satsang. It's all just one big misunderstanding. Just see what you already are. The orange is saying, "Oh, Master, Father, please, I want to be a grape again." But you are that. No, no, you're just being nice. Or just in your presence, I'm the grape. But actually, I must be orange only because mind is saying I'm orange. But can't you just look? You're green as a grape. Oh, maybe that's just happening right now because I'm in satsang. How do I get rid of my orange thoughts? Really? Don't believe them because they're not true. No, no, but they come all the time. I want them to stop. That's a trick. That's a trick to convince you you're an orange. Never anything but the grape. This is like the conversations we have in satsang every day. This orange, can you find it? Can you find the person? Nobody has found it. Nobody has found it. Can you lose the witness? Nobody can lose it. You see? So nobody can find the orange, nobody can lose the grape, nobody can find the ego, and nobody has ever lost the self. This is why this is a divine mystery, you see. That's why this is also divine. This play of individuality is also a divine play. Because only consciousness could have played this trick upon itself. That the Supreme Lord, in which all these universes come as they are arcs, they come and they go. And it considers itself to be this little body mind organism. So every day, I try to figure out ways to tell you that you are the grape. And I also tell you that the only thing that is convincing you that you are an orange is your next thought. And then I say, okay, just all you have to do is don't believe this one. But you say what? But I have to believe it. Do you really have to? You don't have to anything because you are God, you are consciousness. If you start from the perspective that you are the orange, then the orange thought will be attractive to you. If you start from the perspective even that you are an orange trying to become a grape, then thoughts about how the orange should become a grape will be attractive to you. Are we taking the metaphor too far? But it's actually like this, you see. You are that and that alone. What did the first verse say? The tranquil state of knowing self alone is rare, even among those who own but a landlords. I therefore neither renounce nor accept, and I'm happy. Okay, let's go to verse 3. Realizing that nothing is done, I do what comes, and I'm happy. Realizing that nothing is done, I do what comes, and I'm happy. Now, this can seem like it is a contradiction, but it really isn't. What all that is happening is just movements within consciousness. Nothing has happened to consciousness, nothing is actually done, and yet this movement can continue or stop. Sometimes I jokingly say, isn't it, that the Zen masters, they say, oh, before enlightenment, chopping wood, fetching water. After enlightenment, chopping wood, fetching water. But I'd like to add two words to that, or not. Nothing has to be anything. It can continue to be as it was, chopping wood, fetching water, or it can be completely different from that. It makes no difference to the self. So many different examples we can take like this, but none of them come close to the simplicity of your self-recognition. If a friend comes to you, says, Nelly, please help me, I've lost my head. But Nelly says, you have the head, in fact, the mouth is attached to the head and you're speaking from there. They say, no, it's not true, I don't see it. I see just a little bit of a nose. Right now, you don't see your head anyway, isn't it? You just see a little bit of a nose if it's big like mine. So if I'm convinced that I don't have one, what will you do? You say, go look really, what is here? Of course, whether you really have a head or not is another. In fact, there was a great teacher, I'm forgetting his name right now, maybe one of you can remember. He had this spiritual contemplation exercise, which was like an instant contemplation. It was called on having no head. Just notice that you don't have a head right now. Harding, Douglas Harding was it? Or yeah, something Harding. Shanti says Harding. And she says, you're making me hungry for grapes. As long as it's not hungry for oranges, it's good. The trouble is, you know what? The trouble is not that the orange is looking for the grape self. The trouble is that the orange is looking to become a better orange. We are looking to become the enlightened ego, the enlightened person. And if you're waiting for signs that confirm the truth of your freedom, and on the reverse, on the converse, if you have to proclaim your freedom, even that is not freedom. Because it is beyond this doing and non-doing. It's completely possible to survive for ever actually, but let's say survive for the next 10 minutes without believing a notion about yourself. Is it possible? Next 10 minutes, we don't believe any notion about ourselves. Not as a meditation, because then Sage just said, what did he say? The mind numbs is meditation. So we're not meditating, we're just simply looking. How many feel it is possible? Okay, that one notion we'll allow. Okay, it's not a trick question. Okay, let's see how many feel it is not possible to remain for a few minutes without picking up a notion, a position, a reference point, identity about ourselves. You type it out over there because I can't see all the hands at one time. And notice that as you remain empty of any notion about yourself, your existence continues. Existence is independent of whether you have a notion or not, whether you have a concept or identity or not. If you forgot that you are a wife, you will continue to exist. Yes, sir. So, which notion do I have to hold on to exist in this moment? There is no notion like that. Now you have to see for yourself whether these notions are bringing you joy or are they bringing you suffering. Is joy not independently arising on its own? We misunderstood this, what this existence is. Maybe that is the biggest misunderstanding. We have misunderstood this existence to be something limited, something personal. This existence is the presence of God. Yogis who preach either effort or non-effort are still attached to the body. I neither disassociate or nor associate with any of that, and I'm happy. Yogis who preach either effort or non-effort are still attached to the body. I neither dissociate nor associate with any of that, and I'm happy. So beautiful, you see, and you can see that 1,000 years ago, also same thing. Thousands of years ago, when this scripture was written, same thing. Even in today's world, many are preaching this concept that you are not the doer. Because we have believed for so long that I am the doer, then we can have this reverse concept, you are not the doer. But even this, in this pointing, the you is what? The body, or body mind if you want to be generous. It is not that. Neither the doer nor the non-doer you are. You are not an object. Whatever you believe with regard to your doership, what is important is what is it that you are identifying the you as. If you are being taught that yes, you are an object, but actually, even as an object, you are a powerless object. And please understand that it is not the truth. Same thing sages said many thousands of years ago. The yogis who preach either effort or non-effort are still attached to the body. I neither dissociate nor associate with any of that, and I'm happy. Now, some might say to me, and some have actually said like this, that Father, between the two, if I had to pick the concept that I am the doer versus the concept that I am the non-doer, isn't it better that I pick the concept I am the non-doer? And I say, if you've been in satsang with me for some time, then no. So I will not let you rest in this limited idea about yourself. How can I, when I have discovered that you are, I am and you are, this consciousness, this unlimited being, and ultimately I am and you are, because we are one, that which is aware even of this, how can I let you rest if you pick up the concept like, I'm the phone. Actually, I'm the phone that believed I was doing something. I was dialing the numbers. You see, I was a phone that believed that I was dialing the numbers myself and, having these conversations with people on the phone. Then I realized, no, it is a greater power that was dialing the numbers. I was not doing anything. Can I leave you believing that you are a phone? And when you say, can I at least stay with this concept that I'm not the doer? If you're new, if you are just starting out in satsang with me, then I know the relief that can come by believing this, the guilt that can be washed away, the pride that can be wiped off, and recognizing that no individual entity, I, who still believe myself to be an individual entity, ever did anything. Yes, some space, some relief can come from that. But if you still consider yourself to be the individual phone, then you will always question God and say, God, why are you dialing this one? How come I always get this engaged tone? Okay, I'm stretching the metaphor too far. You might still say, but why are you giving me these bad experiences? I'm not even the doer, and I recognize this. So why are you still bringing misery into my life? Isn't surrender supposed to bring for me all these beautiful things? Where is the love? Where is the peace? Where is the joy? So there's still concern about what is happening to this limited appearance called the body mind. This concern is desire. What I want should happen in my life. Now I'm not the doer, therefore I cannot do it. But God might be kind enough to give it to me. And so desire can there, you can also play as if you're the victim. I'm just this powerless mobile phone. Why don't you buy a nice cover for me instead of dropping me all the time? I'm just using these examples so it becomes clearer. You are not that. You're way beyond that. You are consciousness itself. Yogis who preach either effort or non-effort are still attached to the body. I neither disassociate nor associate with any of that, and I'm happy. I have nothing to gain or lose by standing, walking, or sitting down. So whether I stand, walk, or sit, I am happy. I have nothing to gain or lose by standing, walking, or sitting down. So whether I stand, walk, or sit, I am happy. What does this mean? That irrespective of the position of the body, whatever might be the activity that I'm performing, and so simply the sage is pointing us to show us that it's just this. Who is it? Maybe Katie or somebody said that all that you're doing is either you're standing or you're sitting or you're lying down. Everything else is just an idea. I do not lose by sleeping, nor attain by effort. Not thinking in terms of loss or gain, I am happy. So this is breaking all those conceptual paradigms that I must do something to find my freedom. If I just sleep, then I lost something. Whether sleep or awake, whether dream or turiya, you are that. You see, it said earlier, whatever might come or go, I am neither enhanced nor diminished. You are not changing your level. Another popular fallacy. I'm going to the next level. The self has no levels. You don't have to become the next level self. It's funny, and I should not make jokes like that, but it's coming, so I can't help it. There's one who come to Satsang, she said, the first time she went to Thiru, she went to do an advanced no ego program. Does anybody else find it as funny as that? Advanced no ego program? Not just a no ego program, but an advanced one. So who's advancing? The self or the ego? What to say? Pleasure and pain fluctuate and are inconsistent. Without good or bad, I live happily. So when pleasure and pain and good and bad, whatever we label as good and bad, all of this is seen as the coming and going in the play of appearances. None of this shakes the reality of what I am. And in the seeing of this, unattached to any outcome, unattached to any appearance, there is a simple substratum of happiness. Simple trick, isn't it? Papaji said, no, you don't need anything to be happy, but you do need something to be unhappy. That something is what? An attachment, a desire, duality, doership. Can you truly be unhappy without a belief, without an identity?